Hey, you kids, get off my lawn! Get out of my yard! You know, if you don't have anything nice to say, just don't. Welcome back and thanks for joining me. Oh, yellow light. I try not to do too much ranting because, well, the world's got enough of that. And hopefully this isn't so much a rant as it is a discussion. But it's about cranky people. Cranky people on the internet, specifically. You know, when I was a kid growing up, everybody was taught, hey, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it. If you don't have anything nice to say. Now that doesn't mean that we always adhere to it. God knows I don't. But I try. What I don't do is say something for the sole purpose of trashing on somebody or something. It was one day last week I posted a picture of a motorcycle online, and one guy, his only comment started out with, only a fool would blah blah blah, and he went on from there. You know, I could get all kinds of defensive, but look, it's really not my choice to fight online. I'd really rather do anything else with my time. I tried to say, without saying as much, only a fool would be insulting just because he doesn't agree with something. And I'm thinking, I didn't ask you to ride it. It's not my bike. You're not insulting me. You know, the least you could do is throw in that it's a great picture of something that a fool would ride. But, you know, I'm not trying to feed the fire. I'm not trying to fuel the problem. I'm just trying to point out that he's being needlessly rude for no reason. I'm trying to point out that he threw the first punch. And people don't generally like that. The conversation de-escalated very quickly. Yeah, so, have you ever seen? And I was like, nope, can't say I have, but I understand. I just take pictures. You know, that's it. I just took a picture. So I posted another picture a couple days later. You'd think I'd learned my lesson by now, right? So I posted another picture a couple days later, and somebody responded, cheap Chinese crap. Really? That's your input? And it was a Harley. I'm not sure what cheap Chinese crap we were talking about. Maybe a particular add-on, you know, part that was added on? I don't know. I can tell you that I didn't see any labels that said made in China. But I'm thinking, well, what's the point? I mean, unless you're just trolling, why are you so unbelievably rude when you don't even know me? Not even like, hey, nice picture of cheap Chinese crap. I don't take it personally. Even if I did take it personally, I wouldn't escalate because that's not what I'm interested in doing. I don't take it personally. I don't care. There are going to be people who don't like what you do. What I don't understand as a society at large is how it's okay just to attack people. Even if I don't agree with something you like, you know what? Most mice these days will let you scroll right past it. It doesn't even cost anything extra. I don't get it. I just don't understand it. And sometimes I really think it's almost part of my job to bring some civility to the internet. I'm not perfect. Sometimes I blow it, but not very often. You know, even when I get controversial about things, I try and put everything in a perspective of, look, this is my feeling about it, and this is why. And you are more than welcome to have your own feeling about it. You know, we can still be friends even if we disagree. I'm not going to disrespect you just because I can on the internet, you know? I just don't get it. Let's assume for a moment that that was my motorcycle and I was standing next to it. Would you walk up, point at it, and say, cheap Chinese crap? Probably not, because chances are good you learned your lesson very quickly. I'm not saying I'd do it, but it would happen. You know, somebody would put up with that nonsense, and I'm not going to play that game. I was posting back and forth to somebody else who was complaining about YouTube not promoting, not helping us with self-promotion. And I said, well, you know, I mean, if your content is exceptional, it'll catch on. And they call it self-promotion for a reason. And he responded, well, thanks, Dad, but I'm going somewhere else. And, you know, I'm reading a lot into it, but it wasn't hard. Thanks, Dad, I'm going someplace else. No matter what tone of voice you put in, you can see the face, right? And I'm thinking, okay, our conversation's over. I was trying to have a civil conversation and try and help you out and have a discussion. You'll see a lot of posts where somebody will disagree with something, and so help me, 3 posts later, it's name calling, and yeah, you wouldn't say that to my face. Why don't you just show up and I'll show you that? Come on, man, grow up. 2 things that we could use a little bit more of. It's 2 things that we desperately need, actually. We need more discourse. We need to talk about stuff, because there's a lot of stuff that needs to be ironed out, and if we're too busy fighting about it, nothing gets done. So we need to talk about stuff. And we also need to be a little more polite, even if we don't agree. I'm not saying you have to send somebody flowers or support their cause or send them donations. Don't be rude. It's about having some grace. And one thing our society in general seems to be losing at breakneck speed, and especially on social media and the internet and all those places, is a little grace. You know what? I don't agree with you, but it's okay. My life goes on. It's like when you're a parent and your child is throwing a fit. I always thought that you're a parent. You have control. Just take control. You don't have to throw a fit back. Come on. Come on. Come on. Get thee behind me, driver. It's about having control of a situation. Somebody loses their mind on the internet, control the situation. I was on somebody else's YouTube channel, and I made some comments about my opinions of clubs. I try very hard not to be insulting to anybody. I really try, because I think I have full right to disagree. I don't think I have a right to be rude. So I said something about clubs, and I didn't get any grief over what I said, because I didn't leave any room for any. And it wasn't even really hard to be polite, because I don't really have a problem with clubs in general, or I just didn't bring up the stuff I was going to be rude about. Just didn't do it because, well, that would be rude. And I wasn't looking to stir up trouble. So it was received really well, and a couple of people said, well, you've thought this out really well, and I think we're in agreement. Cool. And I guess the people who didn't agree with me just didn't respond, and that's cool too. I'm open to arguments. I'm not right about everything. But if you scroll down a little bit on the page, dudes and dudettes, it goes into pages of trashing, one poster or the other, name calling, and yeah, why don't you, hey, you should just walk into a clubhouse and tell them this, that, and the other thing. You should, you're such a, it's crazy. That's exactly the kind of nonsense I don't want to get into online. Not that I'm afraid of it, I don't have the time or the interest. I've got other things I want to do. So I try and be really respectful online, understanding that people may have other opinions. Doesn't mean that I hide my own. And sometimes, if it's just going to cause trouble, it's not that important. I still have my opinion, I'll take it with me. I can walk into a group of people and have my opinion about something and not share it with everybody. And when stuff does start, it gives me an out. Not only can I draw attention to the fact that, I didn't insult you, but there's always that option of just walking away. The aggressor will always look like the bad guy. I'm not playing into it. It will never be my intention to be the aggressor online. Sometimes stuff is taken out of context. That's going to happen because you can't see facial expressions or stuff like that. I like to put LOL after everything, because you can say anything and put LOL. It's all right. It's not going to change anytime soon. It just isn't. But I'm certainly going to do my part to minimize it. I'm not going to be part of the problem if I can help it. Just not. And I imagine what would happen someday if people were actually civil on the internet. And I'm not talking about all agreeing and, holding hands and singing Kumbaya. I'm just saying not being nasty to each other. And worst of all, for no reason. It's like we have an entire generation that isn't limited to a generation of get off my lawn people. Cranky old, hey, you kids get off my lawn. You post a picture of somebody wearing sneakers on a motorcycle. Oh, he's an idiot. And you saying so isn't going to change it or make any difference. You're not going to convince them. You're not going to win them over. Matter of fact, if you really want to win somebody over and convince them that they're idiots, teach them. Teach them. Don't belittle them. You know, when the government came out and said that they were getting rid of fluorescent light bulbs in favor of LEDs and some of the other ones, I was furious because, you know, who are they to tell me what I can buy and what I can't buy? And after I started looking into LED bulbs and really learning the benefits, I love them. I would never buy an old light bulb now. I'll pay the little bit of extra money because, especially as a photographer, it's better light, it's whiter light, it's far less electricity. They burn cool. I mean, there's all kinds of advantages. But, you know, just like the old expression, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it. There's another old expression that says, you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. Or something like that. I don't know, I'm not that old. I didn't write all of these. I'm not really sure why you'd want to catch flies anyways. But that's kind of my rant for the day. Subtle as it is. That's it. I'm super angry about it. Don't cross me, mister, because you'll get more of that fury. I'm having too much fun with life to be angry. I just, you know, for the most part. I mean, everybody has their days, but it's just not that important, man. I'd rather have fun. So listen, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you being here. I'm just in awe of all of your support. You know, there's so many of you out there that I'm starting to meet, and there just aren't enough hours in the day, and I want to get to know all of you better, because the ones I am meeting are just fascinating, and, you know, I dig what you're doing, and I dig who you are. So anyways, thank you again for joining me. Appreciate you being here, and I will see you tomorrow. I mean, you can catch flies with a dead carcass. If you had a dead carcass, you could get maggots and raise your own flies. You don't even need to catch them. Grow your own. I'm like, who put this motorcycle in the way? Oh, yeah, me.